What's up, y'all? Got another video here. In this video, I got two books that are they remind me of my favorite parts of Game of Thrones. Now, I'm sure I have made a much more enticing title than that, but these books for me, I feel like capture like the old setting, old setting, set far in the past. There's complicated happenings within factions within the book. That's a necessary part. There's some good violence, a little bit of sex here and there. But I feel like a more accurate title for this would be like Game of Thrones coded. That makes me feel. It reminds me of them. These are not like. I feel like comparing things to Game of Thrones can be a dangerous game just because so many people like it, and who knows specifically the reasons. I don't pretend to, but these ones I feel like have a piece of that spirit that made it so fun for me personally. I will warn you that both these books I'm going to talk about today are are the first parts of unfinished stories. Dead Romans right here. This one's going to have more coming out at some point. I have on pretty good authority. The artist Nick Marinkovich has talked about how there's going to be more of these. It's just been a while. The other one I'm going to bring out here, it's an unfinished story, and there's not going to be any more of it. However, I would still argue it's worth it. I enjoyed it immensely. Okay? But let me not get ahead of myself. First, I'm going to start with Dead Romans. It is written by Fred Kennedy. It is drawn by Nick Marinkovich, a spectacular artist. Jose Villarrubia does the colors, who I feel like he should have a lot of respect on his name. Jose Villarrubia is sick. This hardcover, I believe, is the only way to get this. Let me show you the size here. This book is a little bit bigger than your average trade paperback, slightly so. And it's sick, dude. Fred Kennedy, the writer, I would say I enjoy. Oh, I folded this. That's so sad. This is the only work of his I'm familiar with. He's very good in this book, I would argue. However, Nick Marinkovich is what you're here for, dude. This artwork is sick. Look at this cover. Look at how sick that is, dude. It's very like kind of jagged in some ways. It feels very like, I don't know, it's like aggressive, dude. Like it was aggressively painted on here. Very jagged. There's a little bit of like an impressionistic touch. It is, I assume, made digitally, and it's like the least digital looking digital art you maybe have ever seen. Big fan. But this book follows, as you can assume, Romans. We have some Roman legion action here. Oh, dude, this book is so good. Look at these pages, guys. I mean, read this book. If you haven't read this book and you're looking at these pages, surely you're convinced. What else could you even ask for here? It's awesome. We follow a lot of military figures. I'm going to be super vague on this because it's been a little bit since I've read this one, and I don't want to spoil something on accident. But there's our core, like 3 or 4 players. This guy and this woman are very important parts of this. We follow a legion of Romans as they go on a mission, and as they go on this mission, there's a little bit of Chosen One action, perhaps. It's really grounded. It's a very grounded, like historical fiction kind of story. But you just get closer and closer to these Roman soldiers as like this battalion moves out. We get a little bit of chicanery, of like military machinations moving around, betrayals happening here. I know I'm being super vague on this, but I really think it's worth you jumping in on your own. If any of that is pulling your attention, you should give this book a shot. If not just for the pretty artwork, but it is very well written. I like the characters. I feel like part of the sad thing about this book is that it's like, I feel like when you first read it, you have to adjust to the pace, right? This is not a super wordy book. I feel like now I turn to a page with a bunch of text, but you kind of have to like soak in the vibes, dude. Like you kind of have to like sit in the vibes and let them wash over you, and this book will reward you for it. It's some really cool character stuff. It is a little like not bad, like lore heavy, I guess would be the word, but not negatively. Like it feels like this is a lived-in world where things have happened before this, and we're kind of jumping in at an action point in a really fun way. Look at this, dude. It's so good. Yeah, very fun book. This is one that I just feel like should be on more people's list of like intro comics, because I think there's a lot of people who share interests in this type of story, like Roman legion outfighting a war. I feel like is something that a lot of people could jump in on, and that this one embraces fully. Yeah, Romans are so sick, dude. Like, even just visually, like seeing these Roman legionnaires is so sick. Great amounts of action. Again, it's very grounded. It's very like based in realism. It's a classic historical fiction. I enjoyed it a great deal. Hopefully, some of that made sense. I was really dancing around it there. This one for me, I gotta zoom out. This book is big as hell, man. The Viking by Ivan Brandon, drawn by Nick Klein. You probably know Nick Klein from a bunch of Marvel stuff. He's a spectacular artist. He's also one of these guys that I'm pretty sure works digitally and is just actually doing witchcraft. It's really something else. This book is super early for him, so I'm not so familiar with his big two stuff. I just know that he's a big shot and he does a lot of Hulk stuff. But we get to see his brilliant art here, and look at how big this book is. This is our trade paperback for reference. This Viking book is big as hell. It is just containing like the first trade's worth of stuff, and again, this is not getting continued, guys. There's a 1 on the spine. It's a lie. This shit's not. We're not getting a 2. This shit came out over 10 years ago. It's not coming back around. However, I'm still gonna pitch it to you because I think it's worth the read. This one, I think the character work is very like moody is the wrong word. The characters are what you like here. We go into the worlds of Vikings. It's not like a super Viking-y book, despite being called Viking. Like, these guys obviously are Vikings, but I feel like it's like takes more care for like the time period. I shouldn't say it. There's not a lot of boats. There's not a lot of Vikings on boats with horned helmets. But everyone in here is a Viking of some sort. But first thing you see is the artwork goes through a myriad of styles. Right? We have a lot of, oh shit, I'm forgetting the word for this now. But of like the screen tone, there we go, like zip-tone shading. We have these like crazy pop art, almost backgrounds on some of them. And on other ones, it hits a point where like it's like painterly, even though it's definitely not painted. I don't know how he does any of this, but these are the two guys we follow. Of course, I'm terrible with names. Egil is one of them. Finn, perhaps, is the other? Who's to say? Follow these two Viking brothers. They make one decision at the beginning that affects them and follows them through all of this. The genre on the back of this book, which I love so much, is Viking crime is the genre. And that's kind of what this is. This follows the setup of like a crime book set in a Viking world, which I think is pretty raw, pretty sick. The two brothers make a decision at the beginning. They steal something from some people. They kill some people. And then they're like, oh, I guess we'll just go on our way and make some money now. But that decision follows them and kind of hangs over their head. Gives them some unintended consequences that forces them to double down and do something even crazier than the first thing they did. It's like the outline of the plot. This guy here is the other character in the story. He is the king. He is easily my favorite character from this series. He's a very intense king. We get some time with him and his daughter. And those are kind of all of our players in the story. Honestly, a fairly small cast here. We just have the brothers, their family, the king, his family, and then shit gets crazy from there. Okay, and look at this artwork, dude. Nick Klein is a sicko. Like, I don't even know how you start making something like this, man. It's really something else. But the kind of inner workings of the king and his world is what definitely makes the connection to Game of Thrones for me. I guess the brothers in their lives do as well. It feels to me kind of like a smaller scale story, right? So like, while Game of Thrones is kind of like doing all the big stuff all in a row, this one's definitely smaller stakes. This one is definitely like characters with like a smaller view of the world. They're not necessarily thinking 10 steps ahead. It's kind of like shit is going wrong in real time and we're just watching it get worse and worse. Which I love as a reader of crime comics. This is a recipe that just works for me. The paneling in this book is ridiculous. The writing works. Ivan Brandon, for me, is not a guy I'm super familiar with. I read the Roman Stars book of his, and it really didn't do it for me. But I think that the voice that he writes with in this book is really spectacular. Really sets the tone. I feel like the dialogue in here does a lot for the, I don't know, like environment, like the vibe, the ambiance, if you will, of all of these things. Really spectacular stuff. Big recommend. I don't want to show too much because I'm pretty sure there's some visual spoilers coming up here. But Viking by Ivan Brennan and Nick Klein is a sick book. Dead Romans, also a sick book. Big recommend. If you like any historical fiction, these are both pretty grounded. Not a lot of fantasy elements going on in them. And the shit just kind of rips. You open the book, the shit rips, and then the book ends. And that's how it goes. So hopefully you guys like it. If you guys have any other books that you feel like would fit in this category, please leave it in the comments. I'm always looking for new ways to spend money. I appreciate you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.